Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. We have to really learn to buck up and stop delaying. When things get hard today on our space, let's just rip that band-aid off. Our first op teaches us to stop making assumptions. Just acts. My wife is avoiding a friend and not making eye contact with him anymore. She is saying there's nothing wrong. We, 40 male, 37 female, had met him 34 male at another friend's wedding. We hit it off and often went with him and his wife 34 female for long drives and double dates. For last 1 month, my wife has been saying no to any plans with them. Then we met at a housewarming party sort of, and she was still avoiding them. She did talk to the wife for a bit. He and her rarely looked at each other in the eye. I'm now overthinking their all previous conversations and meets. She claims nothing is wrong and she had nothing to talk to him the other night. I'm going crazy. Edit had to go sipping around her closet and drawers and found some used perfumes which I don't seem to recall. Also, attires which she knows I don't like and hence don't wear around me. She has 2 unique keys of the house that I don't recognize. Nothing else is suspicious. The community has some opinions, Skellum says. Maybe approach it from a different perspective. She's avoiding them. That's worrying you. I've noticed you're acting differently and avoiding friend. Unmarried. What's going on? Do we need to cut ties? I feel like I'm in the dark here. Brenda Maisels chimes in. I like this approach. Non-confrontational or accusatory, but show compassion and concern. I like you. Have a cupcake. RNA says, or, the wife confided in your wife about something and she can't look at or talk to the eye anymore. Could explain why she can't tell you immediately what's up. The op replies, hoping it is something like this. A deleted user says, quite possibly. Maybe she knows that he cheated on his wife, or his wife confided that she cheated on him. If it's one of those, I'm sure she would feel very awkward around the guy. Especially if she cheated on him. I'm sure she'd feel horrible for him. I feel like you just need to chat with her and tell her how you're feeling rather than beating around the bush. Update. I confronted my wife, and she finally revealed to me that the guy had a relationship with our daughter. We caught them on a date. She has turned 18, 3 months back. They had gotten physical, and she had sent him some pictures, and my wife handled it carefully. And got those deleted and promised him not to tell his wife and return for that. She waited till they were out of town to break the news to me. I'm not sure whether I should be happy it's not an affair with my wife or not. I'm sure as hell mad about what he did to my daughter. It got messy the moment we talked and I broke the news to his wife, and then we blocked both of them. Last I heard they were going to get divorced. I hope he loses all of his assets. Edit. People, be careful about whom you praise in front of your children. They tend to respect those people and think they can do no wrong. Something like this sure happened in our case. The community reacts. Taiji19 says thanks for the update. Wow. Was not expecting that, I must say. Good for your marriage, but on all other accounts, not so much. The op replies, yeah. I'm feeling like a really bad father. An insecure man for feeling like this was better than my assumption. 645-57175 says there's nothing wrong with how you feel. You're not rationalizing it. You're just feeling feelings that are actively working your mind to stress the situation holistically. I'm sorry you're having to go through this. But it seems you are making the right moves, and I think your family will be stronger for this. Ashland South chimes in. I'm sorry that Snake took advantage of your friendship to be predatory on your child. I hope he suffers. Is your daughter okay? The OP replies, yes. She is sorry for it, even though we made it clear it's not her fault. She is doing okay right now. Grape, Ape, 1980, wants to add. He was probably grooming your daughter then. The OP replies, yeah, makes my skin crawl. I asked him to pick her from school sometimes. Grape Abe 1980 says, you probably need to ask your daughter some tough questions, but my guess is he's been grooming her for a long time. DOP replies again. He has. He had been taking her out for ice cream in parks without our knowledge. Well, I mean, at least it's not your wife. But I feel like maybe he took advantage of her daughter and her young age. Like, who knows how long this has been going on? Maybe she was underage at first point of contact. These are conversations that you and your wife might have to awkwardly have with your daughter, but it's necessary. Definitely be careful about who you invited to your family. Oftentimes children are abused by people we know and trust. What do you make of this? Next up, an op who has to just leave the turd behind. Husband, 36 male, mad at me, 35 female, and seeking friends with benefits online. My husband and I have been married for 10 years. We have 3 children together. We both work full-time. Of note, I am the breadwinner and more fiscally responsible, though I shoulder most of our expenses. We've always been tumultuous. However, things have been at a steady decline as of late. See, my husband, who believes his responsibilities in life begin and end with going to work, is so god-awful upset that I don't make my vagina available to him at every waking moment. Besides sitting on the couch, watching YouTube videos and ignoring the needs of everyone and everything in the household, the only thing he seems to care about is sex. Sex this, sex that. Every joke is sexual. Every comment is sexual. He has a high school level sense of humor at best. Just loves to sit and watch a stupid freaking film like American Pie, etc. Because they're all hormone-driven pieces of garbage. I'm currently recovering from a very significant surgery that has left me mobility impaired for the time being. This is the latest in a long line of several procedures that also left me mobility challenged. I have a long life injury with chronic pain due to being in an unfortunate car accident. As a result, I have had increased depression and anxiety over the past couple of years. My career has been damaged because of it, etc. As such, I have spent a great deal of time alone in my hour room. Recovery. Being sad. Planning out our next moves. Budgeting. Paying all the bills. Still working full-time, of course. But my God, not enough of my vagina has been accessible to his pervasive need. On my birthday last week, he joined me for a little bit, mostly to discuss how monogamy isn't realistic and how we should probably divorce because my lack of affection is providing a poor example about relationships for our children. He then proceeded to insult my body and then assumed that I would want to have sex with him early in the morning today. I snatched his phone and went through it. He is so desperately seeking someone to screw that he's been talking with some married woman that lives 3 hours away. He tells her that he's 100% done with our marriage, but is staying for financial security, and he is planning on driving up in the truck that is in my name. The bill I pay, but the camper we just had to have also in my name, and I pay for it so that they can camp together and fornicate. While I take our kids on a family vacation, he vehemently refused to join in on. I'm more amused than upset. However, I did end up sending a message to the ogre woman and told her that if she touches any of my property, we'll have issues. I plan on confronting my toddler husband later. My question is this: given the cost of everything, what's the next step? Obviously, we need to separate. He needs a teenage-minded spouse that only cares about sex too, and I need somebody I can feel secure with. The cost of housing in my area is revolting. All 3 of my children have some variety of special need, including autism. Honestly, divorce him. Staying with him is not worth it, and people always survive whatever financial challenges that occur. Why would you want to listen to any more of that crap that comes out of his mouth? He's 100% done, which means he's 100% ready to figure his crap out. Worst comes to worst, you live in the trailer that you own. Update. Confronted the turd. His response was that it was all fake on his end because he was just trying to see if I snooped through his phone. Obviously, this is an off-the-hip knee-jerk response that's highly unbelievable. I told my sister about things. She's very quick to violence and proceeded to threaten to assault him. Things got heated for a bit. No response from the girl he was speaking to. He said that by me sending her the message, hopefully, she would end up leaving him alone because she bothers him. But the conversations were majorly driven by him. I told him that he can try to gaslight someone who doesn't know better. He's not very pleased, so we'll see. The community has some responses. Individual Chayotan says, the next step is talking to lawyers and choosing one. Rainer Hacks chimes in, yes, lawyer up and make sure to get screenshots of those extramarital plans of his. The whole bunch of letters and numbers for a username replies, please also get tested for SEDs, lawyer up ASAP. Wrong Bat 9636 says make sure to talk to a lawyer without him knowing. The faster you are, the better it is for you. Young Sausages wants to say, sure, it'll be an adjustment as a single mother with 3 children, but by the sounds of it right now, you're taking care of 4 children, so it can only improve with him out of the picture. Billing flags, as a thought, no adjustment needed. She's a single mother now. She's a single mother of 4 children. She's about to whittle that down to a very manageable 3 children with the help of a divorce attorney. Realistic Airport, 775, wants to chime in. Keep copies of everything. All the messages, etc. Screenshot them. You may end up not needing them, but it doesn't hurt to have them. Look at your finances and work out where you want to live, etc. Perhaps somewhere that children have more services available or near some support for you. Record everything. Just because you cannot use it legally doesn't mean it isn't useful if he decides to pretend he never said those things. Protect your children from hearing any of his crap. I'm sorry about your birthday. That truly sucks that he used it to suggest divorce and then sex. I hope that him leaving doesn't impact you negatively. Pallians chimes in after all of that already given reasonable, logical advice. If the soon-to-be ex takes her truck and camper to meet the other woman, report them stolen when he leaves. Winter Dragon 5452 thinks he's the one setting a bad example for your children in marriage, not you. I have to wonder if your relationship had been this bad for so long, why you had kids with someone like this, but yes, it is time to talk to a lawyer and leave them behind. Wait, so did you leave him? I truly hope so. You'll be absolutely fine on your own. You've managed this far. You even said that you're more fiscally responsible, which means you'll be able to handle the situation. It might be tight for a little bit. Then it'll be fine and you'll be much happier without him. Just save all the evidence. This will help you when going through the divorce. Thoughts? What should Op do? Finally, what is this Op holding on to? 28 male, 29 female. My girlfriend cheated on me. I have decided to end things after a month of deliberation, but the situation is complicated. As per the title, my girlfriend of 5 years informed me that she had cheated on me with one of her friends while on a trip away. She had always gone on a lot of trips with people, one-on-one or in small groups, but I trusted her and had no issues with this. She informed me 3 months after it happened that she had sex with one of her friends in a hotel room. She actually discussed it with a mutual friend first before telling me to ask whether she should actually inform me, which upset me a bit more on top of the act itself. She claims this was a one-time thing and nothing like this had happened or would happen again. She was obviously very remorseful, but this was still a massive shock. She had cheated on a past boyfriend, which always worried me a bit, but he was an abusive partner, so I understood to some extent the circumstances. My initial instinct was to break up, but I decided to give it a couple of months on the basis that she would show what I believe to be remorse and steps to change yourself. Part of me worries that I initially made this decision based on the complications of the breakup, being that we own a house together and have a dog. I pushed this to the side though, as I genuinely loved her, and didn't want to end things. I realized shortly before Christmas that this wasn't working for me, as I can no longer see a future with her. We had discussed marriage and kids, but I can't imagine that was someone who cheated on me. I decided to wait until after Christmas to break up, so as to not complicate existing holiday plans. However, on Christmas Eve, her dad was diagnosed with late-stage cancer. Doctors have suggested he has around 3 months to live, though it could be less. Meg girlfriend, who is a nurse, has stopped working temporarily to become a full-time care for her dad, along with her sister, as they don't really have anyone else who can help. Part of me thinks I should delay the breakup, and one of my friends thinks it would be cruel to break up with her now with everything going on. I think it would be worse for me to now hold off on breaking up with her, as I have no idea how long it is before it would be a good time for it. I presume there will never be a great time, but this timing is particularly awful. I feel terrible about this timing though, and despite what she has done, would like to remain friends with my girlfriend due to groups of mutual friends, and because she has been my best friend for like 7 years now. I don't want to ruin any chance at friendship by doing something rash. I think it would be wrong to stay with her when I know I want to end things. She has moved back in with her dad and is coming home to our shared house once or twice a week currently. Should I break up with her when she comes back for one of these visits? I feel horrid, and I don't know if that's the right way to approach the situation, or if anyone can suggest a good way to tackle this. Sorry for any grammatical errors. I'm stressing a bit at the moment and have written this on a bit of a whim, as my friends, who I would discuss this with, have got very different opinions. Ask for opinions, you'll get them. Dogs Reading Books says, there's never a good time to break up with someone. In my opinion, better to break up now than to delay it and stay when you're obviously not feeling it. Trevor Girl has another opinion. Senior year of high school, my best friend's girlfriend broke up with him. I took him out to talk about it, and while we were out, his mother was hit by a car and died. Everyone told his ex-girlfriend that she should take him back, etc., etc. She did not. It was awful, but now as an adult, I think she did the right thing. There is never a perfect time. Lone Wolf 369963 wants to say, came here to say this, there will always be something. The op replies, awesome. First comment was the only good bit of advice from what I've read, so thanks for that. Pretty much what I was thinking, just going to be difficult. Sorry to anyone who has more to say. I won't be checking this account again. Lonely Word 7673 chimes in anyway. Bad timing, but no reason to delay. Not just another MOMOC says, if I were in your shoes, I would tell her that you have decided you don't want to be in a relationship anymore. And you realize this is a terrible time, and you want to be there for her. If that is true, and there's no need to handle the legal things immediately if it's too overwhelming for her. That way, you're being honest, but being as gentle, supportive, and understanding as possible. Red and Yellow says, you're right. There will never be a good time. It's horrible that this has happened to her dad, but it would be cruel to stay in a relationship with her longer when the feelings you had aren't what they once were. As for remaining friends, I don't see that happening, but you can remain civil. Maybe just don't expect the same from her. There's never going to be a great time to break up. Best to do it now, then waste her time and your time. There's always going to be something that makes you question breaking up. Cut the ties, stop delaying. It's going to hurt her either way, so friendship isn't going to be necessarily easy at first. You have to do as best for you, not her. Would you break up during this time, or would you wait it out? Let us know below. And thank you for joining us today on our space. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss out. If you want to listen to more stories from me, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.